Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala al-mab'uthi rahmatan lil alameen wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa baraka wa sallama tasliman kathiran ila yawmiddin amma ba'd. قال الله تعالى في القرآن المجيد والفرقان الحميد ولله الأسماء الحسنى فادعوه بها. وقال تعالى ولله المثل الأعلى. وقال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم إن لله تعالى 99 اسما من حفظها دخل الجنة. So my dear brothers and dear sisters and dear listeners and dear friends and dear young brothers and sisters as well, what I want to discuss today is the names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now there's lots of discussions, lots of books written on the names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What I want to discuss is how to use them. How to use them. So there are also books, I just came across one recently, where it said that if you read this name this many times, then this will happen for you. And if you read this name 50 times or 70 times or 100 times or 300 times, then this will happen for you. And all of those are fine. Those are all based on experience. Somebody read it so many times and they found that benefit, and now they're sharing it with us. If you want to do it, you can. It's not necessarily from hadith. However, the hadith does say that anybody who takes all of the names together, memorizes them, preserves them, enacts them, they will enter Jannah. So I want to just give us an example of how to use some of these names. Because using the names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is very, very powerful. I'll give you an example. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us. He didn't have to create us. He was completely self-independent, self-sufficient. He was as He was. And then He decided that, you know what, let me create human beings and jinn, etc., so they can recognize me. So our purpose of creation is that we recognize Allah. He gives us things, He sustains us, He looks after us, He cares for us, He feeds us, just so that we can recognize Him. Now, there's a lot of things that we do in this world which happens because of a cause. We do something, we work this many hours a week and we get a wage. You plant something in the ground, something comes out, and mashallah you get. So you're doing something and something is happening. There's an effect that's being produced. So that deceives us to think that what's behind the effect of everything is actually the cause, the immediate cause that we are seeing. Allah is behind everything, but it's always behind a veil. However, sometimes just so that we know, just to remind us, tell me, have you ever received something without working for it? Have you ever received like extra money or an extra gift without actually making an effort to get it? It just came, you got a bonus, you got a gift, you got a good deal. Has that happened or not to everyone? Anybody it doesn't ever happen to where you've never gotten anything without trying? Right? So that shows us, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reminds us with those kind of things that look, there are ways in this world that you can attain things without using a cause. You never expected it. And Allah says that in the Qur'an, وَمَن يَتَّقِ اللَّهِ يَرْزُقْهُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَحْتَسِبْ. Whoever has proper taqwa and fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah will provide him from where he would never imagine it to come. Anyway, so the names of Allah, they show, when we learn them, we understand them, we only get to know Allah better. That's how we get to know Allah better. For example, what's your name, brother? Your name is? Zain. Zain. Zain means adornment. So, I don't know Zain, but I've seen him now and I know his name. And if I meet him again, I'll say, Zain, how are you? Not like, hey, random guy, how are you? If I said, Zain, how are you? He's going to feel validated that at least he's using my name. Not that he's some random guy who's got to feel a top on, like he's just, or black glasses or something like that he know, you know. So when you use somebody's name, it shows you recognize them and you know them. Now, if I managed to speak to Zain a bit longer and I found out his qualities, I don't know what they are right now, they're all hidden for me. But once I found out his qualities, and next time I meet him, I talk about Zain. You know, Zain, you're really good at this and you're really good at that. Aren't you going to feel more validated? Yeah. So he'll feel more validated. When somebody calls on to you and says, MashaAllah, you can do this and you've done this and this is your accomplishment and you're very good at this, and you feel like, oh, MashaAllah, this guy knows me. Like sometimes you're even surprised, how does he know all of this about me? Right? But you feel more validated because it's like you're getting praised. Or you feel that somebody knows me. This guy knows me more than just my name. Likewise with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when we call on to Him, most people, they know Allah exists. If you're a believer, you're sitting here today, you're a believer. We believe in Allah, we're mu'mineen. You're going to say Allah, Allah, Allah. Or some people will say Khuda, or some people say Parwardigar, or some people will say God. You know, there's different words you'll call on to Him with. However, wouldn't it be better if we can call on to Him, right, while recognizing His characteristics and His capabilities? Allah is going to be a lot more praised that way. He's going to recognize that we know Him. So we're not just... Now look, a lot of people when they say Allah, they just say that as the name that He's got for Him. Allah is the one name of Allah which actually includes in its meaning all the other names. But most of us, when we call unto Allah, we don't have that sentiment in our mind, do we? When we call unto Allah, we don't have Allah as in Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim, Al-Malik, Al-Quddus, As-Salam. We don't have that in our mind. We're just like Allah. Just Allah. So if we were to call unto Him as Allah with that full scope of meaning, Ya Allah, that would work wonders. Because a lot of scholars have said that Allah is the greatest name of Allah. Meaning, there's a hadith which says that Allah has a name, a specific great name, which if you call on to Him with, He will respond to you. Which is that name? He hasn't told us exactly. Many ulama think it's Allah, there's also others. Number 38. We're going to cover name number 38 in the 99. Now you know these 99 names, they don't include every single name of Allah. Allah has infinite names because Allah is an infinite being, so He can't be limited. However, the Prophet ﷺ gave us 99 names as a package. Here you go, this is a package, this is decent, this is a good enough amount for you to understand Allah through. Otherwise, there's names in the Qur'an of Allah that are not in the 99. But the 99 give us a good understanding of who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is. So let us look at name number 38. Number 38 is al-Hafeedh. Al-Hafeedh comes from the concept of hifdh, which means protection and security. Hafeedh means the preserver, the protector. But it also means the heedful, the one who remembers everything. Because He's the one who protects everything, who remembers everything, who enumerates everything, who preserves everything. That's Him. That's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So each of the names has sometimes multiple meanings as well. Now how can we use this? I'll give us some examples and some ideas so inshallah we can start using. For example, where would you use al-Hafeedh? Where would you call Ya Hafeedh, Ya Hafeedh, Ya Hafeedh, along with Ya Allah? Where would you call on to Him? Number one, if we want protection of faith, if we're worried about our faith, when feeling that one's faith is wavering or being challenged, your faith is shaky, somebody's challenging, or it's just a low, asking Allah, Ya Hafeedh, to keep the iman intact and protected. That would be beautiful. So whenever you're feeling shaking in the faith, Ya Hafeedh, protect my faith. Ya Hafeedh, protect my faith. Number two, if you're a professional person, that means you're a doctor, dentist, or somebody who keeps records, the imam, people come and consult with you, and you're worried, it's not easy keeping a secret. Sometimes, especially if you like to talk a lot, Anybody here like to talk a lot? And like to find things to talk about? You need something to talk about. So then the last guy who came to you with a consultation is like, you just talk about it, and then somebody makes the connections and figures out. And the next day the guy's telling you, why did you tell everybody? I didn't tell anybody. Well, you must have said it in a way that they found out who I was. It's a tough place to be, right? Sometimes I know stuff and a person very close to me is telling me, have you heard so and so that's happening with them? And they don't even know the full story. Like, I know the full story. I'm just like, yeah, okay, all right. I can't reveal anything because I was told in confidence. So if somebody's worried about that, they like to reveal things and they can't help it. So someone in a profession like a lawyer, doctor, imam, etc., where client or patient confidentiality is crucial, call Ya Hafeedh for the strength and integrity to preserve and protect the information. Right? Can you see how we're thinking really outside how to use these names? Make them really, really beneficial and work for us. Number 3, maintaining personal diaries or records. If you're somebody who maintains a personal diary, personal records, whether that be for your business or yourself, when writing personal thoughts or maintaining a journal, one might ask Allah to protect those private reflections from prying eyes. If you're worried about somebody else reading them, there better be good stuff you're writing. Otherwise saying Ya Hafeedh for bad stuff, I don't know. That's not going to work very well. Oh protector, oh protector, oh protector. Right? So it's like a dua you're making almost. In fact, you are. So it's like saying Ya Hafeedh, protect me. You don't even have to say protect me. You just say Ya Hafeedh. Calling onto Him with a focus on that name means, oh Allah, I need your protection. Number 4, guarding the family, Ya Allah. This is a very important one. A person might use this name, Ya Hafeedh, when praying for protection and well-being of their children. Especially when we're absent, we're away from home, we're not with them. Because everybody's worried about their children. And if there could be a secret or a special way to just, mashallah, protect our children, there'll be a lot more happy parents. Right? Parents are happy with children, having children, but then it's not easy. But it's still a blessing. It's all a blessing. It's all a blessing. But Ya Hafeedh, we need Allah to assist us in preserving our children. You can't be with them 24/7. I think I was mentioning that there's a guy I know, he's a taxi driver. Been taxi driver for a very long time. So he had a daughter. She was studying at a madrasa. Every time she would come home, he would say, I'll let you go wherever you want with your friends. You want to go to the mall? No problem. But I'll be 10, 15 steps behind you. I don't know how she felt. He would allow her to go wherever, buy whatever she wants. But he says, I'm going to be 15 steps behind you. I'm not going to pry into what you're talking about with your friend. Now, that might be a bit too much for some people, right? I probably wouldn't do that. I mean, who's got a time to go around? MashaAllah, he took out the time to do that. But I think the reason is he's a taxi driver. Taxi drivers know exactly what's going on in society. And he was just wanted to be careful. He doesn't want to let his daughter mess up. Ya Hafeedh, easier. Ya Hafeedh. We do our best for tarbiyah and then say Ya Hafeedh, Ya Hafeedh, Ya Hafeedh. Oh protector. Number 5, safekeeping memories. When we have some wonderful memories. Well, you know, you've seen a really good dream. Dreams are so easy to forget, right? Or there's just something that has happened and you don't have time to write it down. Sometimes a thought came to your mind. You don't have to, or an idea. You don't have the time to write it down. Ya Hafeedh. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us maintain it. Number 6, protection from harm. Clearly, Allah is the protector. Hafeedh means protect. Ya Hafeedh, protect me from harm. I'm worried. You know, there's some danger here. Before traveling or embarking on a potentially dangerous task or a challenging situation, asking for Allah's protection to guard against unforeseen calamities. Ya Hafeedh, Ya Hafeedh. Okay, preserving cultural heritage. Right? You got an interesting family you come from. You got interesting history in your village or city or house or business or whatever it is, and you want to preserve that. Ya Hafeedh. If some of these don't apply to you, that's fine. Use the other ones. Safekeeping wealth and assets. Those, when fearing theft, for example, your cars are getting stolen. Ya Hafeedh. Watches are getting stolen. Phones are getting stolen. When you're walking outside, well, don't flash your phone. Ya Hafeedh, Ya Hafeedh, and you're flashing your phone around. Because these guys come on these little scooters and grab them, right? Because Allah is saying that, Allah says you must take your precaution first. So you do your best and say, Ya Hafeedh, Ya Hafeedh. So when fearing theft, fraud, or any other loss of one's material possessions, invoke Ya Hafeedh every day. And number 9, this is, I don't know how many people will be in this, but conservationists and environmentalists, right? These are people who are preserving wildlife or natural habitats. They should definitely pray Ya Hafeedh, because this flora, fauna, the conservation aspect of it, people are just, these big capitalists are just destroying everything. Ya Hafeedh, Allah protect us. Just like locally we concrete over all the grass in our gardens and we put fake grass on there. So there's no greenery, mashallah. There's nothing breathing and alive, it's all fake. And mashallah, Asians are big, they like doing this a lot. They get rid of all of the glass, all the soil, all the mud, and it's like, no, it needs to be clean grass. You know, astroturf. Okay, number 10, protection of secrets. When someone entrusts you with a secret or sensitive information, Ya Hafeedh, Ya Hafeedh, to grant the strength to safeguard that trust and not betray it. Essentially, not betraying somebody's trust. And somebody's worried about their actions, their deeds and so on. Ya Hafeedh, protect me, allow me.
With the Rayyan Courses subscription, you'll gain immediate access to over 250 hours of exclusive video lessons taught by experienced scholars. Sign up now at rayyancourses.com to continue your journey. Your next lesson is waiting.